March 29th, 1971, a pivotal moment in American history as the gavel fell in the trial of Charles Manson and his co-defendants. The nation held its breath. Sentenced to death for helter-skelter slayings in Los Angeles, Manson's fate seemed sealed. It was on April the 22nd, 1971. Manson was loaded on a Los Angeles County bus and transported to San Francisco Bay Area prison. Charles Manson, a man the district attorney claimed had a thirst for notoriety that seemed insatiable, was headed to death row to die. The bus rolled out of Los Angeles towards San Quentin. We followed closely, cameras capturing every moment of Manson's journey. But it wasn't just any inmate being transported, because like it or not, it was now California's first celebrity inmate. Upon arrival, the scene was unreal. The warden waiting for Manson, telling the press the prison would be treating Manson like any other inmate. He may have said it, but he couldn't hide the special treatment they afforded this notorious figure. Despite the facade of normalcy, it was clear Manson was no ordinary prisoner. So today we are headed to San Quentin to try to unravel deeper layers of Charles Manson's story, exploring the psyche of a killer whose name still sends shivers down the spine. This is more than just a tale of crime and punishment. It's a journey into the darkest recesses of the human soul. Welcome to the world of California's first celebrity inmate.
Level?
No, I'm going to pass.
Nothing?
No, I pass. Would you give that stick to Mike if he wants it?
Next door?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing?
No.
San Quentin looms on the horizon, a formidable fortress in an otherwise idyllic landscape. This isn't just any visit, it's a chance to peer behind the curtain of one of America's most infamous prisons. Imagine receiving a call from a person you know from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, offering you a ride to San Francisco for a meeting at none other than San Quentin. The adrenaline surged through me, barely able to contain my excitement as I eagerly accepted. Here, I was nestled in the backseat, camera in hand, about to embark on a journey into the heart of America's most notorious dark tourist destinations. San Quentin, the mere mention of its name sends shivers down people's spine. Nestled in one of the most picturesque neighborhoods, it stands as a stark juxtaposition to its surroundings. A bastion of violence and despair where many of California's condemned met their fate. As we approached, anticipation mingled with apprehension, telling myself this was no ordinary visit. This was an opportunity to glimpse behind the curtain of one of the most nation's feared institutions. Stepping onto the grounds, I can feel the weight of history pressing down on me. I soaked in the sight of the imposing structure, its walls whispering tales of the lives within. But the real tests lie ahead. With bated breath, waiting anxiously, I visit the post office. A lifeline for those trapped within those walls serves as a stark reminder of the world outside. I pondered the mysteries that awaited me within those walls. Would I be allowed to access, or merely left to wander out here in the parking lot from afar? Not knowing then, my offhand comment to my friend on the drive up about telling the guy, "I'll even wait for you in a cell to have your meeting if he lets me in." I had no idea then that it was about to come to fruition. Then, as if on cue, their contact arrived. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, I listened as plans were made, my jest about the cell suddenly becoming a dawning reality as he said, "Sure, he can wait for you in a death row cell. We have made up for him." As I stood on the threshold of San Quentin, my heart now a bit racing, I realized that this was no ordinary adventure. This was a plunge into the unknown, a chance to uncover the secrets of San Quentin. In a cell without even committing a crime, I was rethinking if it was such a good idea. The door clanged shut behind me, sealing me in a world of concrete and steel. As I settle onto the narrowing cot, the reality of my surroundings sink in. This isn't just another filming opportunity. It's a chance to immerse myself in the heart of San Quentin's history, to experience firsthand the echoes of its past and the whispers of its secrets from the warden's personal collection. In that moment, I'm not just an observer. I'm part of the story. a willing participant in an unfolding drama of life behind bars. And as I sit in that cell, camera in hand, I can't help but wonder what secrets lie hidden within these museum walls. They're just waiting to be uncovered.
Well, when company comes, you always stick the dirt in the back.
What do you mean by that?
If you're outside and you live a life on the outside, the mind that you live in, the thought that you live in, is a family. The head of your family is Nixon. He's your father. He's lost sight of his children. He doesn't see in the back. He doesn't see in the shadows. He doesn't see on the roadsides. He doesn't see in the back of the cells. He doesn't see in the yard in the penitentiary. You take the bottom of the world. He doesn't see the bottom. His eyes reach in the conscious mind, in the foreground, in the free world. The penitentiary is in the background, the think chambers. These are all think chambers.
No, with people on that side of the line, they break any rules they want to break. It doesn't matter because ain't nobody going to do nothing. They ain't going to find no challenge. There ain't no district attorney going to say anything because he's established already, so he can just pretty much shoot on it, just rub it in, and then laugh at him, and there's nothing you can do unless you got a personal vendetta. And then if you pick that up, then you got to go back to death row again.
Yeah.
Well, that's just about over because they can't even open up death row. That's why they always talking about, well, we don't believe in the death penalty. The reason they don't believe in the death penalty is they ain't got no power to do anything about any other reason to do it. Because the goddamn Governor Brown was using the death penalty for political reasons when he gassed Carl Chessman. And he gassed that woman up there that he murdered. He was using the San Quentin gas chamber to murder his political careers. That's how his son got in there.
Yeah, his son's the one that's running again right now, right?
Well, no. See, what he's doing is he's why I know what the district attorney, the Italians, are doing out of Boston. That's Rambo. He wouldn't even stand up for a country. He wouldn't even fight for the United States. He don't have no sovereignty. He just got everybody's fear out of the mafia because they think that the mafia has got the power of life and death. They don't. They're pussies. What it amounts to, they got the night quarter janitor that they were riding on somebody else's thought. That's all they're doing is play acting somebody else's reality with Tom Selleck and Bruce Willis and Mel Gibson. But they just rub it in.
Welcome, my esteemed guest, to the hidden gem of San Quentin, a place seldom seen yet rich with history and intrigue. As we step into the confines of the prison museum, we are transported to a world of crime and punishment where every artifact tells a story of its own. Take, for instance, the cell where I found myself contained, a chamber not meant for just any inmate, but meticulously crafted for a television production designed for the Today Show and its former host, Matt Lauer. A chilling reminder of the grim reality that awaits those condemned to death row. But this museum is not merely a showcase of celebrity cells, it's a treasure trove of murderabilia, where relics of past wardens, prison riots, and makeshift weapons crafted by inmates are preserved for prosperity. Among the artifacts lies a machine gun, ingeniously crafted by inmates with aspirations of escape, a testament to the ingenuity born of desperation. As we navigate through the exhibits, we are confronted with the harsh reality of life behind bars. Grainy footage plays from a bygone era, serving as a haunting reminder of the prison's storied past, transporting us back to a time when the public broadcasting system captured the essence of the same San Quentin Prison Museum on film. Indeed, the air here is thick with a palpable sense of danger, where guards and inmates alike navigate the precarious existence. For some time, San Quentin was not merely a destination, but a final stop, a place where the state's ultimate punishment awaited. Consider the case of Manson, whose arrival at San Quentin marked a chilling convergence of two worlds, one of infamy, one of despair. Here he encountered individuals like a 17-year-old whose descent into darkness mirrored his own, transforming him into a monster fueled by rage and resentment. In the next clip, we will bear witness to the violent clashes that punctuate life within these walls, as inmates and staff grapple with the ever-present threat of chaos and the unrest. Through the eyes of those who have experienced it firsthand, we gain insight into the tumultuous world of San Quentin, a world where danger lurks around every corner and the echoes of the past reverberate through the present. So let's delve deeper into the stories of San Quentin, where the truth is often stranger than fiction, and where the ghosts of the past continue to cast their long shadows over the present.
Nectine is not the proper name of the drug. It's there's a word for it that has something like 24 or 25 letters, but for short they call it a nectine. And what you do is the officers in the green shirts come in and they put you in restraints, handcuffs, and they put shackles on your feet where you can't kick. And the doctor comes in and he sits down with a little folding chair, a little metal folding chair. And he says, well, now, Mr. Smith, you burnt your mattress last night. Why did you do that? Well, it so happened I burnt my mattress because I had nothing else to do. I had no books of any kind whatsoever. I had no type of, nothing to keep my mind or anything else occupied except staring and looking at the ceiling. So I decided to do something, cause a little excitement, and I burned my mattress. So he says, now we don't want you to do that again, Mr. Smith, so we're going to try and give you a little therapeutic drug that will help you. It's called a nectine. And I want you to listen to me very carefully when I administer it. Naturally, I have no choice in the matter. I'm chained and restrained and have 2 or 3 people sitting on my arms and legs. I can't do a damn thing about it. So he pulls out a hypodermic, swabs my arm, injects the nectine intravenously instead of intramuscularly. It goes straight to the vein. Immediately upon injection, your body goes into a convulsive, just spasmic, say 4 to 5 seconds, a spasmic attack. And then the body's immobilized. It's a feeling of being suffocated with pillows on your face, and at the same time of having an enormous amount of weight on your chest, where that you can't breathe. It's a feeling of total paralysis of your hands, your arms, your legs, your toes. You can't move anything. You can move your eyes slightly, but only slightly. I mean, it's very hard just to move them a fraction of an inch either way. It totally immobilizes the body. It's like a catatonic type of state. And but of course it's a limited state. But your thing is this: the doctor understands what he's doing to you. He knows that you're not going to die. You don't know that. You may think, as most of us thought, as I personally thought, that he put too much in there, that he'd kill me accidentally. I thought perhaps maybe the sadistic son of a bitch had did it on purpose. I didn't know what he was doing, but I knew that I was dying. I had absolutely no doubt in my mind that I was going to die. And he said, now you're not going to do that again, are you, Roger Dale? And naturally you cannot talk back. In order to talk, you must be able to get air, and you can't get air in the sense of the word that you can breathe like we're breathing now. You're living on the oxygen that's in your lungs and the oxygen that flows through your lungs and the pores of your body, but it's just enough to sustain the blood flow to the brain such that you don't lose consciousness, but that you feel the total effect of a death sentence. And I've been close to death many times, and you can believe me that that is perhaps the closest feeling to death that I've ever experienced in my life. And he consistently drives into your head, you're not going to do it again, are you? Now, you wouldn't want this to happen to you again, would you? As you would talk to a child, a 6-year-old, 8-year-old child. And the effect of the nectine itself wears off in about 3 minutes, where that you get partial movement. Well, during that partial movement, they remove your restraints and they get out of that cell. Because after 5 or 10 more minutes, you're going to be able to have full movement of the body. And believe you me, if they were in the cell at that time, you would gladly kill every single one of them, and you wouldn't think nothing about it. You'd think nothing whatsoever about it. And he consistently, just consistently drives into your head, you're not going to do it again, are you? Now, you wouldn't want this to happen to you again, would you? As you would talk to a child, a 6-year-old, 8-year-old child. My understanding of Anectine and the gas treatment that they administered was simply for traumatic effect, to create trauma in your head where that you'll refrain from doing something that they consider against the rules, something that they consider a violation of it. The trauma is so severe that instead of you saying, well, I'm not going to do that again, yes, you say that. I'm not going to burn that mattress again, or I'm not going to break that wall again. But what you do plot, you say, now how can I get a hold of something where I can kill one of these son of a bitches? This is what you start plotting. So you forget the petty minor stuff, get rid of the aggressiveness, the pent-up hostilities by burning and making noise and breaking things. You do it because you are afraid of the Anectine, you are afraid of the gas treatment. Anybody says they aren't, they're a goddamn liar. But you start planning on how you can assault severely, preferably one of the people that administered this to you. But in actuality, anybody that's in a position of authority, that has authority directly over you, that you can retaliate against and say, now, son of a bitch, if you do this to me again, I'm going to get another one of you people. This is how your mind works. This is how my mind works. This is how many of the men that I lived with on S3, this is how their mind. You might call it the black hole of Calcutta. There was absolutely no light in the cell whatsoever. You were fed a ration of so-called RD, restricted diet, which is a loaf of minerals, vegetables, and they say all of the daily proteins and vitamins that you need to subsist, but it tastes like sawdust and it's frozen, and you have to wait till it thaws out before you can eat it. Remember now, we're speaking of the years of 65 and 66. Yeah. This is when this decision came down. So after being placed in there, I stayed in there for 8.5 months in the strip cells. And I mutilated myself severely, my arms, my chest. Joint of the arm, severed the artery 3 times. There's what they call a plastic tendectomy in there, which is pieces of plastic to replace veins that were cut out with razor blades. And the same thing with this arm all the way up to the joint. Assaulted and stabbed more than anybody in California history. That's the reason they say that I'm Pincushion Smith. 109 stab wounds, ball bats, horseshoes, straightened up, pico bottles full of soap, gasoline bombs, fire bombs, zip guns, all types of things. But at the same time, I've done these things to other people. I've killed men, 7 men. I'm 27 years old. I've killed 7 men.
Do guys belong on a death row or a condemned row, if there is such a row? They belong in a place like this? If they've been convicted of murder and killing?
Most of the people in here are just your reflections. They're your mistakes. So, as a collective society.
Even though they have rebelled against that society?
Well, they weren't born rebelling. They weren't born with the anger and frustration that they have. That had to be put on them by somebody. Somebody created them. It's as if your outside world programs people into education and knowledge. The inside unprograms people to wisdom and understanding. In other words, you have 2 thoughts.
Do you believe that there should be a death penalty?
A death penalty?
Yes, for someone who commits a murder or something like that.
Aren't we all born to die? We're born with a death penalty.
In a gas chamber?
In a gas chamber. Well,
or by hanging, or by an electric chair.
I see what you're searching for.
Should there be a supreme penalty for committing a crime?
What do you think?
I'm the one who's asking you.
Yeah, but if I don't give you the answer that you want...
Doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter.
It's your opinion.
Well, I don't have the authority to say anything like that.
You have the authority to believe.
I believe what I'm told to believe. Don't you?
As they beckon me to leave, I realize my journey through the depths of San Quentin is drawing to a close. Yet my insatiable curiosity remains unquenched, yearning to uncover every hidden corner of this amazing place. Returning to the warden's personal collection, I am struck by the stark reminders of the violence that permeates these walls. Each of those tied rope, a solemn testament to lives lost within these confines, serves as a haunting reminder of the ultimate fate that awaited many who walk these halls. But perhaps the most chilling artifact of all is the miniature gas chamber itself. A macabre creation forged by the hands of an inmate in the metal shop, a gift to the warden, a chilling symbol of darkness that lurks within. As I reflect on my time here, I'm reminded that violence in prison is not solely the domain of the inmates. Indeed, it is a harsh reality that pervades every corner of these institutions, where some come not to rehabilitate, but to meet their end at the hands of those entrusted with their care. And so, as I bid farewell to San Quentin, I'm left with a sobering realization. Behind the facade of justice and order lies a world fraught with brutality and despair. It's a place where the lines between good and evil blur, and where the echoes of the past continue to reverberate through the present. But amidst the darkness, there's hope. For it is through understanding and empathy that we can strive to build a better future, one where violence and injustice have no place, and where the lessons learned within these walls serve as a beacon of enlightenment for generations to come. The closure of death row in California marks a significant shift in the state's approach to capital punishment. Despite the majority of voters supporting its continuation, Governor's decision to override this mandate and effectively abolish the death penalty signifies a turning point in the state's criminal justice system. This move not only resulted in the closure of the death row, but also led to dismantling of the gas chamber, once a symbol of the state's commitment to capital punishment. With Charles Manson, the 94th person on death row, passing away from old age, the era of executions in California has come to an end, ushering in a new chapter in the state's history of criminal justice reform.
Oh, I think when I get to the other side.
There's Alcatraz.
Is that a, is it out, can you see it?
Yeah, it's out there in the middle.
Just march the road.